Oh, got a Kubey here. This is a Kubey KU 180C. And it is, gosh, what's the name of it? A Kuji. It'll be on the description. But anyways, I picked this up from my man over at White Mountain Knives, Justin. And he had it in the discount bin because the blade was chipped. Well, you can see on here, see the scratches on this? Somebody murdered this edge trying to sharpen it, and I'm not even sure what was used on it, but man, they butchered it. But it means nothing to me. I am going to put it over here and quickly dominate this destruction here and put a reasonable edge on this and bring this knife back to life. Because these are, I mean, look, I'm just a 4-finger grip here on this. And the name eludes me, but I'll get it before the end of the video. But man, you can get a really nice 4-finger grip on this. You can choke up on it, but I mean, honestly, these knives work back here. Really confident grip. You know, for a little handful of a piece, I really like, pardon me, I really like this little piece. Yeah, pretty cool. D2 steel, G10, and yeah, so I'm going to fix this blade, and then I'll pop back in. So I had mentioned this in a video, I mean, not too long ago, within the last month or so, whatever, that anytime I'm going to reprofile, it makes sense, go big on the grit, like just big grit, get it profiled correctly, and then I can go to the lower grit. So that's what I'm doing on this one, because it's got damage all the way up into this blade, like it's scratched up. So I am going with, I'm going to go, ooh, I thought I was wide, but I am going to move my wheel back one position, you know, all the way out, make the widest possible bevel, and then I've lowered to just right at like 15 degrees. So I'm going to put a really wide bevel on this and try to chew up as much of this destruction here as I can. So I'm going to get started, and I'm going to let the video run for a minute, and I'll come back to it. I think I am going to slow down here for this first part, get my tracking correct. All right, here we go. Let's get after it. Let's get that damage off of there. So big cut right out of the gate. And oh my goodness, is that thing chewed up. I mean, look at that edge, man. It is so chewed up. And D2 is hard steel, you know. D2 is not, like, people don't give D2 a lot of love. But one thing you can't say, you cannot say that D2 is soft. It is not soft steel. Yeah, I mean, I've got my aggressive belt on there. I'll make sure I'm not getting hot. Yeah, I mean, it's coming along pretty good. I do feel a burr. I have a burr across here. So I think I ran 3 passes. I'm going to flip that over. My tracking's off just a little bit. I'm going to flip that over and get a couple of passes on this side. Now I can tell you I am nowhere near repairing all that damage. I mean, the rough part, I mean, that burr transferred. The rough part of the blade appears to be mostly gone. but all that scratching up on the blade, I didn't even come close to getting it off. So I'll just go 1 and 1 for a minute. That burr is transferring. So I'm not, at this point, I'm not really worried about the burr as much as I am trying to remove material to get a correct bevel here. Like they kind of janked this tip as well. So I'm trying to get that correct. And so I'm going to remove some material and then I'll come back. Okay, so I made a decision, and rather than remove a bunch of steel unnecessarily, pretty much, to get those scratches out, I made the decision that what I'm going to do instead is I'm going for a razor sharp edge. So I flattened this out. I mean, this thing is going to be thin and sharp. It's not going to be the toughest blade in a box, but it's going to be one of the sharpest. But see all these scratches here? I decided to forego trying to get all that off. I mean, look at the amount of steel I'd have. I mean, I got another millimeter or two to get to that. So I decided, nah, I'm just going to lay this edge down. I'm down to about 13 degrees on the machine. I'm going to lay it down and then really focus on bringing this edge to life. All the chips are gone. And I mean, I don't know. Did somebody feel like that was defective steel? Or I'm going to say probably not. I may find. I go cut something with this, it may chip out, and I may find in the end that the steel's bad in this blade. But my guess is that's not the case. With all that scratching and the way that looks, I think something else was going on there. And I mean, I'm getting quite the good looking edge on here, and my guess is this thing is already like ridiculously sharp, and I just now wrapped up my stiff blades, or my stiff belts, not blades but belts. And so now I'm moving on to my flexible belts and my higher grit belts that are really going to bring this edge to life. And they start out at an 800 grit belt, a 3M Trizac. I've got 3 of these: the 800, the 1000, and the 1200. And then I finish up with the 3 high grit belts, the 3000, the 6000, and the 12,000 that come with the sharpener from Worksharp. And oh man, do they leave a wonderful, beautiful edge on top of the belts that I've run it through already. And at this point, it doesn't take a lot to get through these. Now, this next one, I'll probably pick up my speed just slightly on this 1000 grit, because I really am polishing at this point. I'm just removing scratches, and there is a micro burr, and I am swinging it from side to side a little bit. Let's go up 1. It's one of the best features of this Worksharp is the speed on this is so much different than the previous model. The speed on this it's way faster. And so on these high grits, I just find that I'm getting a better edge, a better polish. It's quicker, less effort on my part. Man, just such an upgrade to the machine. And as you can see, I'm still struggling with belt on, belt off stuff, but I'm getting better. Just getting my head wrapped around. I get them on pretty good. I realize I get on the front, then the back, and then they kind of just pop over at that point. So getting them on seems to be going a lot better for me. But I'm still working on that removal process. Oh, this edge on this thing is going to be sharp. All right. Now I'm going to go to the 3 high grit belts that Worksharp sends out. This first one is 3000 grit belt. These are very flexible belts and makes sense for a polishing belt, you know, this high a grit. I'm gonna go up one. Yeah, we're really moving now. I mean, I'm not a stat person anyways, but it would be interesting to know what the RPMs are on this right now versus the old machine. And they may provide that somewhere, but, you know, I'm not really down on too many stats. I'm more of a touchy-feely, you know, how does it feel, how does it run, you know, that kind of thing. And you know, if somebody told me it was, you know, 50,000 RPM, it wouldn't mean anything to me. So, but it would be curious, you know, like compared to the old machine, how fast is this thing really running right now? Because it just, to me, it feels like right now, and I am not in the fastest setting, right now it's running faster than the old machine could run at all. So this is a 6,000 grit. Alright, and then we're going to wrap up on the 12,000 grit, which is this last belt right here. And this thing's extremely flexible, and it does the last little bit of polishing. And I'm going to go up one more. I mean, it almost seems to be going like too fast. But my experience running with this is it's doing a great job right now of putting a mirror on this edge and not creating heat. Yeah, it's doing wonderful. And it's stripping it of any remnant of a burr. So on these, it's always a good thing. Take the tension off these belts. All right, well, let's get a piece of paper and see how we did. I mean, we're still live. I didn't cut or edit, so let's see. Yeah, it's crazy sharp. I do feel like there's a burr on there, though. And so I'm going to treat it like there is. I'm going to get my strop out, and I'm going to run it once, twice. I mean, honestly, I'm the one that says that, you know, I don't have burrs at the end, but it's absolutely possible to have a burr after sharpening. And then one more time. All right. I didn't press hard or nothing. I just ran it on there a little bit. Let's see what we got now. See if it's different. I mean, it does feel like it's burred up. And so I'm going to strop it I'm going to strop it hard to try to get rid of it. Let's see. Because there's nothing more I can do on the sharpener. The sharpener's done its work. So the question is can I get that edge to stop rolling over and become keen? Now it definitely begs the question, if the steel's no good, it probably will not allow me to get a keen edge on it. So I have really put some muscle down into this strop to affect that. And I'll tell you, as I'm coming across there, I feel it. Like it feels like it's got a burr. Like I can feel something. Let's check here. Now I don't feel anything there. So I'm gonna run it one more time. All right, let's try it again. I mean, it's interesting. I don't see any chips or anything, and boy, it sure feels sharp. I mean, it feels crazy sharp. But the paper's kind of revealing like it's got issues. For sure it is. I'll be right back. Okay, I put a little bit of work on it with a ceramic and a strop. And there was, I don't know, like there's no way that I didn't go deep enough into this blade, but it was hanging up in that spot. So let's see where we're at right now. I mean, it definitely appears to be better. So I think I'm going to call that good. Now I did. I mean, you can almost see how much blade that I took off of this thing. It appears that I took quite a bit. I think I'm going to touch it one more time on the blade or on the belt just to see if I can't clean that up, and I'll be back. Okay, there's definitely something to be said about not surrendering to a process or a situation. And this is a prime example of that. So, one of the things I did here is I increased the angle of the bevel up to about 16 degrees from the 13. And I just reprofiled the whole thing, went back at it. And then I didn't finish it quite as fine. I did finish it fine. Clearly you can see, I mean, looks like it's in good shape. I also didn't use as wide of a bevel. I jumped up to the middle setting here. So I changed a few things. Let's see where we're at. Yeah. So there's definitely something to be said about, having a mentality that says, nah, if it's not right, I'll just tear it down and redo it. And that's kind of where I got with this thing. It was, I just was not happy with where that edge had gotten to. And I felt like it was substandard. And it was like, no, I'm going to have to fix it. And now, yeah, it's ridiculously sharp. Now, I still have those scratches in there. You know, you can see those scratches up on the blade. Let me see if I can zoom in. And I don't do enough camera work. I don't like to edit. I don't like to run the camera. Just set it and forget it. But yeah, you can see, man, like, I'm not sure what that's from. Like if somebody used a file on it or what. But I'm pretty happy with the results on it now. Really even, consistent bevel across the whole blade. And the only thing left is I got to take this thing apart and check it in because it's not checked in. And who knows what's going on inside there. Okay, so let's put this thing back together. But surprise, yeah, man, we purple-fied that bad boy. Come on. I mean, I had to, right? I mean, if I was going to go through all this trouble and manage this blade, I had to continue to knock it out, right? Yeah, so we're going to put this back together and see what this turns into, you know, with all that going on. All right. We're not going to dilly-dally, man. We're just going to get after it. Pretty sure that sharpening and some of the other stuff took enough time that we just want to knock it out. Let's get it put back together. Ah, that ain't right. Come on, man. Come on, man. Foolish. Wasn't even kind of right. It's like mulligan. Restart. Alright. Just need one of you. The wrong hole. Yeah, so in the end, this is going to end up being... what is going on? Okay, well, that was in the wrong hole for sure. That was in the lanyard hole. Like, not even kind of right. And then the other one does go in this hole. But it gets... what am I missing here? It gets those two for the pocket clip. This one on the other scale. Maybe it doesn't get a screw on that side. I mean, but how would that hold that? I mean, there's got to be a screw. I'm kind of confused now. There's not another screw in the box. Well, I'll go with what I have, and then if it ain't right, well, then I'll have to get it figured. Just something tells me something's amiss. Something's afoot. Or a hand. Put the cage up on these. But need a little bit of this. Big internal. I was going to say stop pin, but the stop pin's not internal. It's right there. That whole screw controversy's got me discombobulated now. I'm out of my comfort zone. That screw's in that barrel. How did that happen? What the? Yeah. How did that happen? That's about as weird as it could get right there. I don't even understand. I knew something was afoot. Something was off, man. Something was amiss. Oh, come on now. Oh, we're hinging on crazy. Crazy town. Alright. Alright. If I can remember, that's going to be the short song track, man. A little crazy train. Because it's definitely trying to... Yeah, see? Look. Bing, bing. Everything's just flying off this knife, man. Like, none of it's making any sense. Every move I'm making is being undone. And the knife's falling apart. It's like right now. Look at me. I had a wrong screwdriver. I'm not drunk, I promise. Maybe that's the problem. I should start drinking or something. I'm pretty sure that's not the solution. How about it? Okay. I think I'm in a good space now. I feel like I'm centered and all is right. Yeah. Idiot. Moron. All right. Everything's oiled up. And we are absolutely coming together now. There we go. Look at this purple, man. Wow, did this thing purple up? That blue, blue's kind of funny because it's weird. Like that OD green will take purple in a New York minute. And sometimes blue doesn't want to take the purple. It's the weirdest thing ever. You'd think that they were in the same color family or something and they would accentuate, but sometimes not so much. All right. Come on, man. The gray, the pocket clip, the scales, the Kubey bead blasts the edges of their scales to make them look like titanium or, bead blasted metal, like the pocket clip and the stonewash on the blade, the bead blast on the blade. It all kind of matches. Doesn't kind of match, it all matches. Oh, look at this thing. Look at you. Wow. Oh, snappy. Snap, snap, snappy. The detent is actually a little stiff on it. And I mean, if I had any sense, I'd take a little bit off of it because it is requiring a little bit of shakedown. And I think if I took a little bit off of that detent, this thing would run better. But I'm going to try to loosen this pivot a little bit first. Yeah, I don't think that's it. Nah, as a matter of fact, that's kind of loose. I mean, I'm going to check it, but I'm not going to waste video time on it. Okay, so I took it apart. I took a little tension out of the liner lock, and then I had a little bit of lock rock. And so I put a little bit of tension back in it. And so now I'm like right where I need to be. But I will say that in the future, it may develop a little bit of lock rock because as that wears in, it could loosen up. And if it does, I may have to come in here and put a little tension on that lock bar. But oh, does it run good right now? I mean, but it's like right perfectly where it needs to be. If this lock wears in going this way at all, there's a good chance it's going to loosen up and it may get some lock rock. It's not the end of the world. I just need to put a little tension on that liner and it'll take it out. So yeah, but wow, is it nice right now. Wonderful. So, I mean, there it is. This thing, come on, that pocket clip, the action on it, I'm going to say it's an A-, solid B+, A-. It's really good. The ergonomics on this little dude, I mean, this right here, this forefinger, man, it is so solid right here. You don't have to get up in this choil and put your finger on the blade. Can get right here and so wonderfully tucked in. Not so confident, very confident. This thing, whoop, it's definitely a confident grip here. And this grip right here, not that this blade is really built for this kind of work. It's really not. Definitely not here. The pocket clip's going to run perfectly. It's got plenty of tension on it. It's going to be a dryer clip, I already know. Yeah, it's catching here because it's a recessed screw clip, but the clip itself is not recessed. And so on that thick stuff, it's going to catch. Here, perfect. Yeah, complete deep carry and wonderful tension on that clip. Excellent. My spot. Check it for safety. Yeah, there's no blade contact there, and the tip is very recessed. So the clip's good, the tip's good, and I'm confident I can handle this knife any which way as long as that blade is closed, and the knife's going to be safe. Very nice. That sharpening, we kind of already went through that. This thing's sharp as a razor blade, and so it's got some scratches here on the blade. It's not a perfect knife, but I think you'll see this again in a giveaway. Yep, I think the next time you see this, it'll be a short 3 or 4 minute, maybe a 5-minute video, and we'll be giving it away. The question is, will it be to members only, or will it be to the whole channel? I'm not sure. But I think definitely we're going to end up giving this one away. I got it for a great price, put a little bit of work into it, and to be honest, it's a really cool knife. So maybe comment below, hey, should I give it away? And let me know. Appreciate y'all. And if we do, maybe the hashtag will be hashtag White Mountain Knives. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, I got it at a good deal. They don't give me any special preferential treatment over there. I will say that I've had to deal with Justin a few times on some knife issues. And he's always just been a saint, rock solid. I mean, I buy a lot of knives there, and, you know, I recommend them on a lot of purchases only because of great pricing, no tax, excellent shipping, great packaging. I mean, like, I just don't have any complaints there. Anytime I've run up against an issue, 100% instantly take care of it. Yeah, good stuff. And then, you know, some of these open box knives that have damage or there's things with them. I mean, I'm not saying everybody should take a chance on them, but I took a chance on this one. And honestly, this is a pretty great knife. Turned out really nice. Got all them chips out of there. The blade is excellent, and now it's purplified. So, hey, I appreciate y'all watching. And watch for it again sometime soon.